Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It's 6:30 a.m. May 31st, last day of the month, and price of Bitcoin currently at 95.71. A lot happened yesterday, Saturday, right? I've told you guys many times before that when it comes to weekend volume, especially until right around the time CME opens up, which is about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Sundays, it's typically just BS garbage volume that you see because remember, CME and the big players typically come on right around the time where futures start up for all equity markets, right? So that's around that 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time marker on Sundays. And so same goes for Bitcoin. So the weekend volume that you see, for me at least, it's largely something that you want to ignore. It's very hard to trade also. Sometimes you see legitimate moves, but more often than not, when the CME markets come in, they typically, smash the market up or down to close the gap, wherever that gap was opened up from the Friday closing of the CME markets. So how does that help us with the current price action? Well, if you look at the CME markets right now, I think they closed somewhere around $9,300 or so, or 94.70, I guess. Okay, so we're about $100 off, right? And again, when it comes to CME markets, I think in general, you're already about $100 off. So this means we're probably about $150, $200 off from the CME market open and close, right? So Friday, CME markets closed at 94.70. Currently, the price is about 95.78 or so. Chances are that whether it's today or Monday or Tuesday, the gap is probably going to get closed. Okay, because there's like a 90% or something success rate of the gaps being closed. So this is why here's another thing, right? With this big spike up in the market, and then you see it already retrace so much, right? So if we look at the retracement of this entire move from this low to this high, we've already pretty much retraced more than 61.8%. I think down here, it's probably at least 70% retracement. Okay, let's actually check that out, how much of a retracement that was. Okay, so almost close to about 70.5% retracement. And so what does that mean for us, right? Well, this move right here, in large part, in my opinion, I think this was a quick short squeeze right here, where you had some stops for short sitting just above this area, just above this area. But the fact that we didn't have a continuation like this told me that it was nothing more than a short squeeze, and that's it. It wasn't a short squeeze to really just drive the prices, relentlessly higher. It was more so just like a quick push up, and then the shorts and sellers take over, and then we've pretty much retraced almost 60 to 70% of the entire move. And so, for me, I didn't really buy into this. In fact, I actually shorted some more. This is available in our Advantage community in the leverage short trading channel right there. Okay, and if you want to be a part of our community to see what kind of trades we take in a given day, what kind of Bitcoin analysis we have every single hour pretty much of the day, how our community is chatting about the market, with hundreds of traders that are involved, make sure you come join the 50% discount that we have right now. Okay, just shoot me a message right here if you're interested and see if we can get you involved in this 50% discount. All right, so today actually we do have a US stock market discussion coming up around 11 a.m. or so, where I guess it's 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you do want to watch, come join the live session, and you can ask your questions to a former Citigroup portfolio manager. We're going to have a discussion with Austin Ashraf. He's a former Citigroup portfolio manager, and we're going to ask him how the stock market is doing, what stocks he's investing in, how we should look at the current market, etc. So if you want your voice to be heard, if you want your questions answered, come join and shoot them in the chat right there whenever you do come join. Okay, so back to Bitcoin, right? On the hourly time frame, another way you could look at this is simply, right, this previous area that was resistance right here, because We'd been held down by pretty much this area, blasted up through it. Now we're pretty much testing that as support. So in the hourly time frame, this is actually a positive sign. Now, if we break down under this area, then it's a negative sign, definitely. Okay, that means we're probably going to go down much lower. Okay, or I guess it's possible that we might kind of range like in this particular area, and this was really the deviation up here, and then we're going to come back towards range low around $93.50, $9,400. It's possible, okay, but with the CME opening up today, and also just the way the U.S. economy is looking, and all the riots and protests that are going on, I would not be surprised if there's just a bit more of a further sell-off. Also, we have the monthly closing coming up tonight. So we have the weekly closing coming up and the monthly closing up tonight itself. So it's definitely going to be very, very volatile and interesting, I think, in the next week ahead. All right. On the 4-hour time frame, what we see is, again, this big triangle that I've drawn. And I told you guys before that it's possible that you could make this triangle out to be, this is the top of the fifth, and this is your A, your B, your C, your D, and then you have your final E. And then from here, you make that kind of big move to the upside. It's possible, but for the way I've seen the volume distributed up here at the tops, it just doesn't make sense to me that this would be a continuation triangle. To me, what I've seen is actually, this looks to me like the development of a larger descending triangle. Okay, kind of like this. A descending triangle where we've seen these in the past, right? So if we look at this on the daily, here's that descending triangle from 2019, right? I spoke about this several times. You can even go watch my live videos from Friday. And I spoke about how this triangle was something that I talked about in September 2019. I also spoke about this descending triangle right here in 2018 around August and September as well. So in both cases, right, we pretty much saw a descending triangle top, pretty much right at the top where prices were consolidating. It looked like this forming, but what I really see is, like I said, this forming, this larger descending triangle that might be playing itself out. And it also makes sense because of the volume itself, right? It's very, very, it's very much tightening right now in the triangle itself. So maybe we have one more move down if we do, right? Again, I could be wrong, and maybe this is the triangle and I'm totally off. But if I'm right, this should start pulling down again towards 8,700, maybe 8,500. And then we kind of have this kind of bounce where we go like this, start rolling over, flatline, and then start dropping. That is one possibility that I start seeing, maybe by the middle or end of June, where we start creating the larger outline of that descending triangle, and then we start rolling over. For now, however, it's abundantly clear that the bulls kind of want to drive this price higher. Now, it's very essential for the bears to first hold this trend line right here. There's a lot of chop and consolidation in this area. So this means that the bears are going to want to defend this area if they're truly selling. If they're not selling and they've kind of left the market, or rather lifted up their sell walls or shorts, then it's possible by today or tomorrow we might actually push up through this. What are the chances of that? I'm still thinking it's a bit unlikely up here that we start just blasting up through here. I'm still thinking that if we're going to have a move with that triangle that we spoke about, maybe another E move down and then maybe push out. So it's possible that if we make another move down, right, and we start rolling back up, this might be your chance to get out in terms of your shorts, because maybe we're just going to push up from here. Okay, I don't see that as the case, but I'm willing to stay open-minded and see what the price action is going to show us. In every case, folks, what you need to look at is what is the price showing you. It doesn't matter what your lines are doing, what is this specific horizontal level or this indicator telling you. All these things don't matter. You have to just look at the chart and watch it evolve. If you don't evolve with it, you're going to perish. You're going to lose capital, you're going to lose money, and you're going to make more mistakes. If we start looking at the daily time frame also, there's I think a TD9 that was coming up on the, where was it? Let's check this out. I swear I saw TD9, TD13. There we go. Let's turn this thing on. Let's close out of this one and this one. And now let's turn this on. Let's get the indicator again. I have so many indicators. I guess that's not a, I thought it was a TD9 coming up. Let me see if it was a 3-day or weekly. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah. So we're coming up on a TD9 on the weekly chart. That's what it was. So, we might be fairly close to that top. When we get to the TD9s, okay, whether it's on a daily, 4-hour, weekly time frame, this is something that you could pay attention to as a potential area of reversal. Doesn't mean it has to, but the time to mark sequential indicator, which is this TD indicator that you're seeing, is basically being able to spot and identify buy side or sell side exhaustion based on candle counts of 9 or 13s. Okay, so if you're looking at it in a daily perspective, all right, you can maybe see over down here, we pretty much exhausted ourselves right around that TD8 and then started to push up. Up here, you can say that you could see that TD9, TD10, and then we start to roll over, right? Even over here, you can make the argument that we bottomed at a TD13, pushed up, bottomed at a TD9, pushed up. So these are a couple different ways where you can identify, supply or demand exhaustion. Even over here, you can see there's, I think the 11 candle was the last down candle, and then we pushed up. So if you want to identify, buy side or sell side exhaustion, this is the indicator that you want to use. And a lot of professionals use this, by the way. Okay. So these are the things that I'm looking at for today. I will keep my Advantage members updated on what I see happening, but I'm not fully convinced that this thing is just going to push up and out of here. I'm still looking at holding my short position. I know everyone and their mother is bullish up here and they think we're going to blast up to 11,000 or 12,000. I'm not seeing that as a case right now, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. Just remember that if I'm short or long doesn't mean I'm going to hold my position till death or liquidation. It just means that this is what I'm seeing in the market right now, and I haven't gathered enough evidence to change my mind. That's it. That's all trading is. You move and flow, ebb and flow with the evidence, and that's it. And I'm just not seeing that yet. If you want to convince me otherwise, please shoot me a message in Discord or subscribe to our channel, leave me a comment, hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy our content. If you want to join the Advantage community, like I said, you have a 50% discount available right now for the month of June. Definitely come join. We have a ton of analysis going on in our community and a ton of information that we share with our Advantage members. All right, last but not least, I do want to show you the daily chart right here where we see this this ascending trend line broken right there, but then there's descending trend line right here respected on the daily chart. And you can see that's pretty much the same case if we actually get this touch in properly right there. So we had a first touch right at the top, second touch right here that confirmed the break outside this trend line as well as making this descending trend line. And then the third touch almost right around that same area, but then we start rolling over. So I'm thinking that maybe this fractal is kind of similar to this one right here. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. I'll let my Advantage members know, but do come join, 50% off discount. Until then, you'll take care. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and make sure you come join the discussion, the US stock market discussion with Austin, the former Citigroup portfolio manager. All right, cheers, and keep your stops tight.